Hello friends, welcome to the Trading Temple channel. Today we're going to talk about the Avalanche coin, take a look at the Bitcoin chart, and also check out Bitcoin dominance. What you're seeing here is the Avalanche chart, and today Avalanche is up 2.5%. The entire crypto market, the total market, is up about 1.5%, and everything is green today. We've talked a lot about Avalanche in the past weeks. The interesting thing happening now is that we discussed exactly this kind of move last week. We said Avalanche was in a very heavy range, and after it broke out of this range to the upside and filled this gap here, we expected the price to hold at this level and continue its upward move, possibly heading towards $50 or $60. But unfortunately, with the sharp move Bitcoin made and losing all its support levels, Avalanche's price also dropped sharply. It touched the support level, had a good bounce, but got rejected. Then the biggest liquidation in crypto history happened, and after that liquidation, as you can see, the price has kept moving down and we've reached this support level that we talked a lot about. We said this support level needs to hold for Avalanche to be in good shape. Unfortunately, this support level was lost, the price went down, and now what Avalanche is doing is heading towards a back test to test this lost support as resistance. Here you can see that this is a very strong resistance, and previously it was tested several times as support, once here, twice, 3 times, 4 times as support. Now it's being tested as resistance, and it's a very tough challenge for Avalanche if it wants to break above this area. On the 4-hour time frame, if we look, we have a downward trend line in this area, and now the price could come up to around $15.50 to $16. When the price gets here, a decision needs to be made about what will happen next. Most likely on the first touch, it could get rejected and drop a few percent. In this area, we need to see what happens to the crypto market. If the crypto market can recover a bit and move up and have a good upward move, most likely Avalanche can break this trend line and move higher. In the next move, it can definitely reach this area, which is around $18.50. It's very important that if Avalanche comes back down and tests this area again, this time it should hold as a support level. The price shouldn't go up, test this area, get rejected, and fall again. That's one scenario that could happen, and we're waiting to see if this trend line and resistance in this area will break, which would give us a very good buy position. But as long as the price is below this resistance and below this trend line, there's nothing bullish for Avalanche. The only thing here is that it's similar to these areas you see here, and most likely it will go up to these areas, but it could also get rejected from here. The next areas that Avalanche could get rejected from, if we go to the daily time frame, it could head towards $10.50 to $11.50, where there's very strong support. Most likely in the next leg down, if it goes lower, it will test this area, and there could be a very strong buy position here. But as long as it's below this resistance, sellers are strong here. And in this area, it's very likely that many will open new short positions. If it can break this trend line and move up, it will become very bullish and could potentially go up to around $18.50. At the $18.50 level, we also have the 50-day moving average, which could act as a resistance here and make things a bit more difficult. But the first area Avalanche needs to break through is this very strong resistance between $15.50 and $16.50. We'll have to see what happens in the next few days. By then, it will most likely have tested this trend line and really challenged this resistance, and it will probably test these areas as well. After that, we'll see what happens there. Now, let's move on to the Bitcoin chart and take a quick look at it. Bitcoin, just as we predicted, is standing in the middle of nowhere and had a good reaction at its 100-week moving average here, giving a short-term bounce for now. A very good bounce with the price going up about 12% as of today, if I'm not mistaken. Now we have to see how much further it can go. In the short term, I personally expect that Bitcoin's price could rise to around $100,000. If it can reach these levels, Avalanche will most likely be able to break through the resistance. But if Bitcoin only comes up to this area, this is a resistance on the 4-hour time frame. If we take a look, you'll see that there's a short-term resistance here, which could make things a bit difficult for Bitcoin. In the next move, if Bitcoin gets rejected in this area or in the higher area towards $100,000, and if it comes back down, it will test $75,000. That's a very strong support in this view, and right now Bitcoin is pretty bearish, and we don't see anything positive on the Bitcoin chart. There's just a possible bounce that might happen, either in this area or around $100,000, or its resistance is located in this area. Let's also take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. We've talked a lot about Bitcoin dominance and we're waiting for it to drop. As we've discussed before, there was an upward trend line, and after it was broken, it retested this trend line 3 times and is now moving downward, step by step, gradually going lower. What we expect from Bitcoin dominance is that it doesn't break this downward trend line and instead moves upward. If it moves upward, it will be very bad for altcoins, and altcoins will experience a sharp drop. In the long term, we predict that Bitcoin dominance could reach this purple area, but then we'll have to see what happens in the market. For now, the crypto market isn't showing any positive signs, and everything is still bearish. If we check CoinMarketCap, we see that the entire market is in extreme fear, and the market has dropped sharply after that liquidation event. That was today's video about Avalanche, and we also took a brief look at Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance. I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe, and don't forget that trading is never 100% certain. Everything is based on probability. Until the next video, goodbye.